Hi everyone, how's it going? Shane here. So I'm from Dublin, currently climbing up the highest mountain in Dublin, which is quite ironic because for most people watching it's probably a hill. So that's Kippur that we're climbing up. It's at the border of the Dublin and the Wicklow Mountains. So you can see Dublin City in the background. It's a nice sunny warm day. When I say warm, it's about 14 degrees Celsius, which in Ireland is pretty warm. No rain, which is a plus. So at the moment, as you can see, we're on quite a pretty straight track. Makes it look easy. Once though you start getting up to the top, it gets a bit more difficult. There's no actual proper trail. It's literally just muck. You kind of follow where people have been before. Bit of slipping, sliding, been wet the last few days, so we'll see what happens. Basically, the goal of this channel is just to kind of share some adventures, travel, a few videos around Ireland, around the world. I've done a fair bit of traveling over the last few years, haven't really documented it, so kind of hoping that maybe doing it this way can document it, share it all with you. I've done some cool stuff over the years between like skydiving, snorkeling, stuff like that, so hopefully get a bit more over the next while. The trail here as well, like we've got a bit of a walk from where we parked the car, so this pretty straightforward, but once you start getting a little bit up there, it's a different story. It's literally just every man for himself. Watch where you're walking, and it's been a bit wet over the last few days as well, so we'll probably find it a little bit slippy, but look, we'll get there eventually. And keep in touch as I go up to the top. We'll have a bit of drone footage as well, hopefully, as we get there. So we're at the first part of where it'll, let's say, it's a bit more difficult. The trail is over, so as you can see now, we're heading down into more of a muddy, off-beaten track. So a lot of the time you're just kind of following people's footsteps and stuff like that. Wouldn't recommend doing this in trainers. Better off boots like this, because it gives you a bit more grip when you're going down. Already there sliding, because it's literally just swampy, as we have come through pretty much a bad wet season, I suppose you could say. It feels like for most of April, which we're in early May now, most of April was just wet and more wet and cold. So at least now it's dry and warm. See a bit of a river down here, which when I say river, it's more like a little stream. Easy enough to get over. There's only a couple more of them to get through. So yeah, so far not too bad, but it's as you get up further where you've less of a track that it gets more challenging and you have to be a bit more careful, let's say. So yeah, well, it's a decent hike. It's nice trail. Kippur, it's about 750 meters high. It's not that tall, but it's more the terrain getting up there is the difficult part. So yeah, as we're going into the summer months now in Ireland, it makes it a bit easier for doing more climbs, because it stays bright until like after 9 p.m, which means you can go out a lot later, whereas during the winter it can be 5 o'clock and it's getting dark. Now interestingly, there's a family not too far behind me, and it's a mother, a daughter, mum and a dog, but they're all wearing trainers, which I feel like they're going to struggle, because as you can see, my boots are already lovely and clean for walking up. So I don't know how far they'll get, but fair play to them for attempting it, because it takes a lot of effort. In terms of animals up here, it's mainly sheep. You see a few deer as well, but nothing too major, especially in Ireland. Not a lot of big wild animals, mainly birds, a few small creatures. Seen lizards a couple of times up here, which a lot of people don't realise Ireland actually does have lizards, but they're very rarely seen. So well, this is a typical Irish trail that's not built for walking really. It's lovely, as you can see, nice and muddy and wet, but look, it's enjoyable, peaceful. You rarely meet people along here, and then The main thing is you have a nice view from the top. As you can see, some tracks on the ground there leading out. You sometimes see their heads popping up around here. At the moment I can't see them because they can probably hear me. But what's nice is, up here, can't hear anything bar birds and water, which is quite nice. It's getting a bit cloudier though as well. As you can see that big cloud above me. So yeah, we're just getting to the final river or stream that you have to cross before making the home stretch. You can see like it's just kind of like what you're dealing with. It's not too bad when you're wearing boots, but also my legs are quite mucky and wet because I'm wearing shorts, but look, it's all part of the experience, isn't it? So it's a nicer stream here. If you could relax, I wouldn't necessarily start drinking from it, but you could just chill here for a few because it's a bit sheltered from the wind as well. So during the summer or a nice warm day, it's pretty nice. There we are, the home stretch. Well, sort of tell myself to feel better. Like, that's where we are. No sign of that family yet. Be interesting to see if they come up or if they gave up. I don't blame them for giving up, considering how they were prepared for it and how young their daughter was. A lot of people I don't think realise what this is actually like. They think it's a trail the whole way up. So the interesting thing is this is my first hike or trail walk in nearly a year, because just getting back from an injury, so it's interesting. But I've done this one a good few times, brought a few friends with me as well, so it's a nice one to do because you feel like you've done a bit of a workout afterwards, but also it's not too long compared to some of the other ones. So like you could probably, depend on your speed, do it in, let's say, like an hour up maybe and back. It does help when you have access to a car, but if you had a bike, yeah, you could cycle up as well. So you can see here now, it's kind of just literally follow the trail that people have made for you now. So we're on a bit of a flat now, which is nice to have after that. Kind of preps us for the last part. So, but the last part's always the best because it gets you to the top, which is right there. So this is the last bit up to the top, thankfully. So it's not the worst. Like, as you can see, it's kind of just another flat into an incline, and then when we get there we can relax for a few, enjoy the weather, a few snacks, and finally get a water break, because I haven't stopped for water in the whole thing, and I probably should have. But look, it's part of the experience. So yeah, it's going to be an enjoyable climb, because as you get to the top it gets a bit wetter because the trail isn't as nice. Not that it was nice any time before, but like you can just see how barren the land is there. It gets a bit better as you pan around, but yeah. There's our peak, we're nearly there, thankfully. So it'll be nice to sit down, have some water, a few peanuts, and then yeah, be grand. So yeah, this is not too bad in terms of muckiness and wetness. It's a straight incline, which would work out on the legs. It just would be nice if it was a bit easier, but we're not looking for the easy way out. So yeah, we'll get there eventually, so let's go. So made it to the top, thankfully. So it's the view from the top. So over here you've got Wicklow, back there is Dublin, and Wicklow over there. So yeah, it's nice up here relaxing. Just people up here flying a drone, similar to what I'll be doing now in a few minutes. You can see when you look over there, Lessons and Lakes, which is a reservoir in Wicklow, and Dublin City out that way. So it's quite nice and relaxed. So we're going to make our way back down now, but just kind of give you a little bit of a view. So that's the Wicklow mountain. So we're actually in Wicklow now because this mountain is right on the border. There's a few people up here, because it is worth noting as well, there is an easier path which is more like a roadway, because there has to be access to this tower. So I'm not sure what the timing is to do it. It's not as challenging, but if you want to get up for the sights you can do it. And like there's people with kids and stuff, so it's easy enough to see. Something else worth noting is that on days like today you can actually see whales. So you can see the mountains over there. So I don't think it'll show up too well on this, but I have taken some pictures with my phone to where you can actually see it. So as you look out there onto the Irish Sea, it's the Sugarloaf, and just past that you can actually see whales. So, and whales the country, by the way, not whales, animals. So it's something unique as well that you can see, considering we're not up that high, we're actually only 750 meters high, and you can see whales. So it just shows you how close Ireland actually is to another country. So the thing we're going down is it usually is perceived as the easiest way. It's less physically challenging, but the problem is most accidents happen on the way down. You'll find, especially on this type of trail, where it's just wet, slippy, sludgy. So I've got to be extra careful going down, because in the times I've been hiking, most of the time people fall is on the way down. So, but yeah, like in terms of me and hiking, I do enjoy hiking. A couple of years ago I did a charity expedition with work where we went to the Alps and we climbed a couple of mountains over 4,000 meters for charity. It was quite challenging. It was good though, good experience. So I did a lot of like training in terms of hikes around Ireland. So I did this one a lot because it's close to home. It's physically challenging considering it's short and it doesn't take up too much of your day, like considering it's only noon now. I can be home fed and stuff pretty soon. Did a few others with friends, like I did Carrauntoohil, which was good. That's the highest mountain in Ireland. Did the likes of Lugnaquilla, which is the highest in Leinster, which is on the east of Ireland. So hopefully by the time the summer's out we'll have done those mountains together as well. Can show you more experiences like that. Carrauntoohil's more of an actual trail, but very popular with climbers and hikers. So it'll be good and hopefully a nice day. Hopefully not as nice as the last time I did it when it was 25 degrees and yeah, it was a tough one. But because of the distance away, it's easier to usually kind of stay the night camping, or like to do, let's say, a hotel or something. The Sugarloaf, which was another one in the distance as well, so it's a nice one to do because it's a full 360 view when you get to the top. Again, very quick, but it's literally vertically uphill using your hands to climb rock. But like it would look good on the footage, so we'll definitely do that at some point. It's just getting back into the swing of things as well. And with being in Ireland, the weather's not always great like this. So, but look, rain, sun, we'll still be out there and doing it. And then hopefully in July, going to Thailand for a couple of weeks, so do it with the Thailand footage as well, and then just go from there and see what can happen. Like for example, the last couple of years, a few of the countries I've been to is like Morocco, Portugal, the States, Greece. Where else have I been? I was in Thailand as well before. I was in Germany, which was nice. Switzerland, Italy, France. So a few good places to go see, and very different as well. So it's good to actually document, which some of the things I haven't documented in the past. So I was like, why not do it now? Might as well. Be interesting to see. Like for example, I was in Tampa last year. I did a ride along with the police. I went skydiving as well, which is pretty good. So hopefully over the next couple of years as well, get qualified to do scuba diving, because some good footage in that, and then get qualified to skydive as well. So to getting qualified to skydive can be a bit of a long process, especially in Ireland, because weather permitting, it's very hard to get the flight. So hopefully you'll be with me for the journey and get to see what's happening. Some people might watch it, some people might not watch it, but look, it's there at the end of the day for people to actually see. And like, feel free to give out some recommendations as well. Like, I might even do something around Dublin, go to most of the sites, like dig in the Storehouse, the Jameson Distillery, and just give a first person perspective and an Irish perspective of it as well, because it's good to see like kind of that local knowledge and some tips on what to do, what not to do as well when you come to Dublin and even the west of Ireland. Be out there a few times and do a few hikes. So, and I'll just show you as well where I'm going now. So if you're ever coming down this way, try find the plastic tube, because it's a good way to kind of gauge where you're going. I was here one day in a lot of cloud and kind of went off the wrong way, so I eventually found it. Like, look, it's easy enough to find your way when you get lost in Ireland, especially around here. You just kind of go back up to the top and you can follow the easy trail if you need to. Where I'm parked as well, I'll show you where you can park your car. So especially if you're visiting Ireland, like, you can do a lot of rental cars. Like, there's the likes of GoCar, which is quite popular. You can rent that for the day and come up this way, because there's no buses or public transport that would be able to get you up this far. Like, you could get a taxi, but taxis in Ireland quite expensive. Sometimes you'd be better off renting your own car for the day, especially because Ireland's so small. You can get around fairly quick and see, and there's a few nice peaks to, well, peaks I say, well, nice mountains to climb around these parts. Like, you've got Fairy Castle as well. You can do the Dublin Mountain Way, the Wicklow Way and stuff like that, and it's quite nice. Use the likes of all trails to find your way. Today I'm not doing anything too much because, as I said, it's my first hike kind of in a while, so don't want to overdo it and just take it easy. But hopefully the next one will be good, a bit longer maybe. Might even do Croagh Patrick, which they've recently just installed a new walking pilgrim path, which was all done by hand over the last couple of years. So it'll be interesting to see that, as I've never actually climbed that mountain over there. So, but yeah, let's see what happens and hopefully it's successful. Look, if you like the videos, please like and subscribe, because there will be more, especially in July, the first 2 weeks when I'm in Thailand. There's going to be a lot of videos there, so the best way to actually keep updated, and look, it'll just keep growing from here. Going off how much I've traveled in the last, what, 7 years, let's say. Like, I've done the States 4 times and Asia and Europe a lot. There will be a lot more to come, so if you want to be there for the journey, follow me, and I appreciate it. And look, we'll go from here and just keep going and going strong. Thank you.